Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me tonight, we have Nick
Hello.
and Brandon.
Yo.
We were talking about games and things.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I think it's all games this week, really.
Oops, all games.
Oops, all games.
Oops, all games.
I'm sure we'll surprise us with something. That's where we are right now, at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Lots of days. Oh, actually, no, we do have a brand new game to talk about this week.
We have two.
Two? What's the other one?
One isn't even created yet.
What does that mean?
The Turbo Golfing game that I have to talk about, which I will talk about a little bit later. Yeah, Turbo Golf Racing doesn't even exist yet. I got access to it.
You've gone too far into the time stream.
You said they haven't even made it yet. So that means you
No, I mean, like, you can't purchase it. Like, you no longer can play it. There were 3 days you could play it, and I opted in to play it, and now you can't play it.
Brandon's like, the devs haven't even been born yet.
He was actually like, I already platinumed it even on my PlayStation 6.
Oh, well, I mean, it's not on PlayStation, so...
Not in our timeline. Yeah, it's not in your reality.
It's like in one of the multiverses. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually physically created the metaverse and went and played this game in it.
Mm-hmm. Is this the timeline where you died, or is this the timeline where you beat the Demon King? Or
this
is it
the
the timeline where you
timeline
beat the Demon King and then we're sent back to your original
No,
time?
this is the one where I just gave up and was like, yo, dude, let's just work together.
This was the Brandon failed timeline.
Brandon failed timeline.
You ever think about that? You ever think about, like, what if I'm the version of me that is in the failure timeline?
Yeah, I think about it every day.
Like, is there a version of me in a different timeline that's just, like, having just a fucking day?
Yeah, just like the Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
Just sitting out on, like, a mansion.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
oh, man.
I mean, somebody's got to be the failure timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so glad I decided
me.
to become a doctor at age 9
Yeah.
and write a famous book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But you know what? That guy's a jerk.
Fuck that guy.
You think the 9-year-old doctor's book would be called something like Why the Poop Hurts? Or something along those lines?
Why are farts hard sometimes? That's what it would be.
That's just weird.
Fair question, though.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. Anyways.
Hey, yeah, video games, right?
Yeah, some of them.
Speaking of farts, let's talk about Switch Sports.
Oh no.
That's all I've heard all week.
It's not that bad.
I've heard that it's pretty bad.
No, it's not that bad. It's just there's not a lot going on. That's really what I would say. Like, I'm sure the game is great as a party game, but like, yeah, it just doesn't really have like all the extra features that like Wii Sports did. And definitely not Wii Sports.
Like original Wii Sports?
Yeah, because
that's bad. Because I feel like original Wii Sports was pretty bare bones.
Yeah,
you don't really have like a lot of the challenge stuff going on there.
Okay.
Or
saying it doesn't have all the things that a game from 15 years ago had is not a good look.
Okay, it was 16 years ago.
Shit.
No, but I mean they're going for different things because this one does have things that the other one doesn't. Like this one has an online mode that you can play on.
Does it work?
I mean,
well, the internet didn't exist when the Wii came out.
That's what Nintendo thought. Actually, that's what Nintendo thinks right now, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I thought the online mode worked really well. I didn't have an issue with it at all. Everything seemed to be pretty flawless in that regard. So, I mean, no complaints there, actually. I just would say, from a single player perspective, there's really isn't a lot going on. Like, if you're going to play as a single person, like, probably not the best investment of your time.
Is the bowling fun?
Bowling is fun. And actually, it feels like they adjusted the physics a little bit since the beta, or that, like, online trial. Because not everyone's throwing, like, streaks all the time. So that makes a big difference. Because when I played, like, the online, like, demo, like, there literally was, like, a person who threw, like, a 280 or something ridiculous.
Good God.
And, like, you were basically, if you did not strike every single time, you were fucked and immediately lost. That is no longer the case. They obviously changed something. Either that or people have gotten much worse. And I really doubt it's the former.
Maybe the people that played it for free were like, yeah, this isn't worth my time. And those were the ones that were good at the game.
Yeah, and I don't think so. That'd be quite a stretch. I think it would be too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So that works good. I think the other sports are like fun. Tennis is tennis. It doesn't feel any really different from before when you played it.
Okay, let me ask you the important question.
Okay.
The important question, I think, is should you just dust off your Wii and play that instead of this? Or should you actually spend your money on this right now?
I guess it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a party game on the Switch, and
so here's the thing: it's missing content that the Switch version that the Switch version had. We know that already. Mm-hmm. So, like at the end of the day, yeah, like we don't have golf, for instance. I know that's not there.
Golf will be there though.
And I've heard that currently the soccer is pretty bad.
See, I heard
in general, yeah.
I heard it compared to like Rocket League, kind of. So I don't know. Maybe it just depends on who you're reading it from, too.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure it can go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think it was bad when I played it. I thought it was kind of fun. Maybe a little slow, if anything, but that seems like it could be like a little adjustment. They could fix that. Just kind of like how you have like a run meter, but it fills up really slowly. So if they fix that, I think that would actually freshen up the pace a little bit. But it wasn't bad, actually. Like I thought I could see why people would enjoy it. So that was okay. Volleyball is fine. It's definitely a bit more technical. I think the other ones. Badminton is just tennis, which I don't understand why they have that there.
Yeah,
they do. And then what's the last one that I'm forgetting? Oh, sword fighting.
Yeah, they removed boxing. They just have sword fighting.
Yeah.
And isn't the sword fighting worse than the original one that was on Sports Resort? That's again another thing that I've heard said like pretty much
that one. That one I don't remember. I don't remember the old one standing out that much to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the same thing is though, like the coolest part about the sword fighting for me in a Sports Resort was the extra modes, like where you go on like the sword fighting thing, and you're like going around fighting all these people on the bridge or whatever. And now it's just kind of like the one-on-one mode, which is just whatever. It's fine for what it is. It works. It's functional. But that one I think is probably like the least interesting to me out of the bunch. That's what I would say. If I was gonna rank them, I like the elimination bowling. Like I think that's pretty cool. And I guess too, it will randomly swap in. I just read this. I didn't even see this happen yet, and it did piss people off. But I guess randomly, like it will switch in like the kind of like the stunt bowling thing instead, where it's like the crazy bowling alleys that you're playing online.
Okay.
For the elimination thing, which whatever. I mean, I guess it depends what you're in the mood for, but it doesn't let you choose. So I mean, I guess if you really don't want to play it, that kind of sucks. Yeah. But the elimination bowling, like the concept and how it worked, I thought it was fun.
Okay.
So that was that. Listen, soccer, I'm very like neutral, more positive on. I think it was fun. I think it'd be more fun if you're playing with a bunch of different people. But I just kind of just played by myself and played online. The other thing that's really weird too is when you play online for the first time, like for one of the sports, it it automatically puts in an AI character for you to fight against, and like they try to pretend to be real people, but they're not, and you can tell. So if you ever play it online, you'll know what I'm talking about. The computers are pretending to be real people, but they are not.
The AI's learning.
Yeah, no, it is, and it like it will flash up like its little emojis and shit, and be like, "You're not a real person."
Sit down.
Yeah. So there's that. So volleyball's more technical. Badminton's basically tennis, except a bit floatier, but it works well. I think that's all the sports. Yeah. So, like I said, for what it is, it's okay. I think the 7-8 scores that I've seen pretty accurate. That's about where I would stick it as it is currently.
So, okay, sorry. Go on.
Oh, no, I was going to say, but I also have a feeling like my hunch is, especially based on with the golf announcement and with what I stuck down in news, but we might as well just talk about it now anyways.
Okay.
Is that their plan is to use this as a foundation to build off of. And they're probably going to use it as like games as a service, NSO expansion pack kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
Golf is coming out. And then in the data files, they found evidence that at least at some point in development, they were working on basketball and dodgeball.
Okay. So here's my thoughts on the whole thing. This is it 40 or 60? I'm guessing
40.
60. Okay, 40. Okay,
40.
cool.
I think is it 60 with the band thing, or is it?
Yes, 60 with the band thing.
All right, let's just go 40. All right, let's just go with 40. This is a $40 game that has less than a free pack-in title did from 16 years ago. That is scoring worse and apparently playing worse than a free title. That just doesn't seem good. That seems like really bad. That seems like a lot of steps backwards, in my opinion.
But that's that you know, Brandon, you're playing devil's advocate, but that's like a super disingenuous comparison. So
why?
So let me say, there's a difference of like how many ever years we're talking about? 16 years. Just the excitement between Wii Sports then versus Wii Sports now is a big difference. Like at the time, that was cool because it was the Wii and it was a new technology. I mean, not really like a new technology, but it was a new package, it was a new form.
I mean, I'm not even looking at it from that point of view. That wasn't even factored into the thing. It was more of the fact that you get less content. It's now games as a service, and it's scoring worse than a free pack-in title. That's what I'm looking at.
But
the fact that
I'm not finished yet, though.
Okay, go on.
But I'm just saying, like, so. But in terms of scoring less, that's what I mean. Like, if it was flip flops, I think they would probably have scored the same. Like, if this game was the Wii version instead, like they'd be like, "Oh my god, it's so cool! You can play tennis with this waggle control." So there's that. But also too, I mean, I was actually just happened to be watching a video about it too, but I forgot about this. But Wii Sports was not a packing game in Japan. It was actually only a packing game because Reggie made Nintendo.
Oh yeah, Miyamoto did not want it to be a packing game.
They're like, we do not want to give away our games for free. So I mean, you have that aspect of it there too. I mean, Nintendo.
I think that's pretty disingenuous. I think that's more disingenuous than what I was saying, because literally us people that played it here and in the UK, quite literally got that game for free. I think to be like, yeah, but one place didn't. I think to say that is like,
but it also
really,
but it was like the main place.
But the thing is, though, wasn't it also a price difference? Didn't we pay more for the system because we got the pack-in?
I don't think so. I think it was $250 or the equivalent of it. Was it $300 everywhere? Mm-hmm. I think we paid more for the Wii U because of the pack-in, which was
I know that
shit.
One we definitely did. Introductory price. No, I guess they were about the same.
Yeah, they were the same. It looks like.
For some reason, I thought they pushed it down like maybe like $25.
Nope.
I guess not. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I still think it's. Like I said, I think if the tables were turned and this was the Wii game, I think it would be the exact same thing. Or even if they released the Wii game like today and just like HDified it and stuck in the online, I think we would still be seeing the same scores. Like it's just that game and that concept, like it did well at its time because of its novelty, but I just don't think it has a novelty anymore. I think that's the issue.
I mean, maybe. I can kind of see what you're saying because like when the Wii first came out, I feel like most people were buying it because of that pack-in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was like a huge deal. And like now, not so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's lost its, like we've been there, we've done that. And this is like, what, the fourth time we've been there and done that. Like, I don't know. And yeah, maybe it will be
possibly. And you know, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But making it a games as a service is really stupid. That's
we don't know that's what they're doing. That's my theory. We know golf is coming for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no other additional charges on this game
currently.
This time.
But if they make it a games as a service, this will be trash.
I don't know if it'll be a games as a service. I think it's going to be more like, hey, you want more sports? They're on NSL.
That's a games as a fucking service because you're paying for more games as a service.
Yeah, but I think they're using it more just kind of like, you already have this service. Please don't.
You don't! Not everyone bought NSO Online. It's a shit fucking deal. Not everyone bought the special edition of it. Most people didn't because it's garbage.
I did.
Yeah, you're not most people.
I like to think I am.
You seem like most people.
All the voices in your head don't count, Nick.
Oh, God.
Those aren't people, Nick. Wake up, Samurai.
Wake the fuck up, Samurai.
Yeah, but I don't know. So I guess I would just stick a big old question mark on this game right now. So, as it is, listen, I think the 7 and 8s are a fair score. That's for just.
I'd be more interested in playing it first and then being like, okay, this is fine. Because I have a feeling there might be, with most people, a little bit of nostalgia goggles. Because, like, I don't remember Wii Sports being, like, all that feature-packed and overflowing with things to do.
It had boxing. It had tennis.
Yeah.
It had bowling.
Okay.
It had golf. It had baseball.
Okay.
It had multiple modes for all of those. Like, quite literally multiple modes for all of those.
How many times did you play those other modes, though? I think I only played them once to be like, oh, that's cool, and then that was it.
I just did, like, bowling, and that was it.
I did bowling, I did golf, and I did baseball. And there were multiple things for all three of those.
Now, if you compare it to Wii Sports Resort, like, I mean, that's a different story. Like, I feel like Wii Sports Resort had a whole lot more going on.
Okay. Let me look at this from a different angle, all right? If they want to make this a games as a service, right? Like, if they actually want to do that, they should put it for free for NSO Plus users.
The actual game itself?
Yes.
Okay, I can see that. I can get behind that.
Then it's like it's a pack-in title, but you paid for the service of NSO Plus or whatever the fuck it's called, and you get that for free and its upgrades as they come out. I think that would be a fair way to go about it.
Yeah, no, if that was their kind of like thought process,
and I think they would actually probably sell more NSO Plus subscriptions with something like that. To be honest, that's my takeaway.
I don't think that's a horrible idea either. I mean, it makes sense if they are planning on going that route. Then that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's really. I mean, at this point, it's too late. I mean that ship has sailed.
Ship has. Well, no, they'd like to add things to NSO Plus aside from Mario Kart after they have come out. Because think of like the Octolanes expansion.
Octolane's the only thing though, and that was what 2 years after it came out.
No. There are 2 other things.
What are the other things?
Sega Genesis and N64 games, baby.
Yeah.
N64 is Mario, and it's an inferior version. Sega, I don't really have anything to say. Except, actually, no, those are all inferior versions. Yeah.
My point was, those are all things that were added after they came out.
Oh, I know.
It's not like we retroactively went back in time and added our added Sega Genesis games.
Yeah.
They're like, hey guys, you want a shittier version of the game you already have? Come and pay for it.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with the Sonic game.
Yeah, actually, probably.
Oh. I'm waiting to see if any of my friends buy it.
I want it, but
because typically it's how
don't.
I almost got it this weekend, and then I was like, you know what? I bet you one of the boys played it. One of them had to.
I mean, it's not out yet, so
what?
I was talking about the new Sonic game coming out.
No, I was talking about Switch Esports or the Switch.
Okay. Well, we were talking about 2 different things.
I was like, I think one of the boys probably played it, so we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, lo and behold, Mike played it.
Yeah.
So
yes, I did.
But the problem, it's a Nintendo game, and Mike played it. That's the problem.
No.
Did I run out and say buy it, Brandon? I was not like, this is the best game you'll ever play.
No.
This game will lick your dick, Brandon. You're gonna love
this game will lick. Hey, I got to tell you real quick.
My man's like, I'm heading to Target. That's what the specials, extra 20 bucks is for, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the $60 edition.
Yeah, but I said, at least as far as I'm concerned, it is just a current
passable, and you're paying $40, and there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's really all you need to know. Then if you like that kind of like multiplayer, like motion control sports stuff, you'll probably have a great time with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just don't break your TV like people already have.
Yeah, I saw that.
We fucking learned our lesson.
But part of me is like looking at that being like, are they actually breaking their TV, or are they just like, is it actually the game that's breaking their TV, or are they just doing this for clout on the internet?
Also true.
I don't think that gets them clout. I think that just makes them idiots.
Oh, it absolutely does. And you see the like mountains of fake breakage of this system and that system, and remember the fire coming out of the Xbox Series X that was completely fake, and it was someone's fake smoke. No, dude, that people will do stupid shit just to have 15 minutes of fame on the internet.
No,
just to show up on trending on Twitter for like 5 minutes.
Well, this one was Reddit. I don't know if there's more. I only saw the one. And the guy just got roasted. You're fucking dumb. Like the game literally tells you every time you finish a game, it tells you to make sure you're wearing your wrist strap. Like it doesn't fuck around.
Threw those bitches somewhere. I don't even know where they're at because they kind of suck.
This game does not fuck around.
I never, now watch, I'm going to jinx myself if I ever do play it, but I never even got close to breaking a TV when I was playing Wii Sports, and I was 12 at the time.
Same.
So
I don't think I've ever let go of a Wii remote in some way it could have possibly hit my TV. Never.
Yeah, no.
And I think I took the wrist straps off every single one of my Wii remotes because they pissed me off. So I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, there's that. They even with this too, like with bowling, you don't even release the Z button anymore. Like you just hold it. So you have even less a reason to let go of it. So I don't know. I don't know what you do, but it's just. So you know what, Brandon, you're probably right. It probably was just for clout. But that's all I got about Wii Sports or Switch Sports. Unless you guys have any questions on it. Otherwise,
no.
Anyways, so we played Mario Kart Arcade. Like it fucking cheats.
Yeah.
Because like it let DJ beat me, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
That sounds pretty fucked up.
I know.
It is fun though.
Yeah, it is. He doesn't know what he's doing. I'm here doing like all these power slides and just like blasting everyone with like items, and then he's like scoots right by me at the end. And I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's not how this works.
Yeah, that's not how this works. That was like it was like a perfect match, and he just like somehow catches right up. Like the rubber band is just unreal. But it is so much fun. I do really like it. It is like if I had money to throw around, I would buy Mario Kart Arcade for my house. It'd be so much fun. Yeah. And let you take that little picture of yourself and look like an idiot with like little like toad hats or whatever.
Look like an idiot.
Yeah. So it was a good time. And I don't remember if there's anything else. I don't know. It's got those random like the Namco, what is it? The
drums. Yeah. Well, yeah, because it was made by
Namco Bandai.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I mean, it's a good Mario Kart for what it is. I'm actually kind of surprised with all the stuff that they've kind of brought over from like the arcade or whatever. At some point earlier, I'm surprised they just didn't release that as like something at some point.
As something.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, it's Mario Kart Arcade.
The thing is, I think they can't. I don't know.
Like, I mean, some of the other arcade stuff eventually came to, like, what was it? F-Zero GX is basically like the arcade version, right?
I
think there's some difference because it was what? The GX version and the arcade version is F-Zero AX?
I don't know.
I think GX came out second? I don't remember anymore. It's been too long. Well, maybe it came out first. I think it had some memory card feature in it. I don't know. And F-Zero Assault was at one point an arcade game. Or at least like part of an arcade game that was in development, but I don't think it ever came out. I don't know. Mario Kart's great though. That's all I have to say. Especially an arcade game. And then I played my mystery game.
Oh, yeah, what's your mystery game?
You'll be so proud, Brandon.
Okay.
You'll be like super proud.
All right, give me it.
It's an indie game.
Oh.
Okay. Ooh.
What do we got here?
Do you want to try and guess it?
Did you play Inscription?
No. It did just come out. It just came out within the last week.
Oh, is it the Stanley Parable?
Yeah, it was.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I never played it before.
Okay.
And I was like, I saw it came out like the new thing, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I always kind of want to play this. And I was like hemming and hawing on it. Then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I did it. And I played it. So, and you know what the weird thing is too?
What's that?
So like when I finished playing with it, I was like, I mean, this kind of seemed like, I'm like, it is very like thought provoking and interesting. But I was like, it does seem like it's kind of expensive for how little time I put into it. And then like I looked at how much time I put into it, and I was like, I put a lot more time into this than I thought I did. So,
I mean, you can put at least 10 years of progress into that game.
That's true. I also have a question. You said when you finished playing it.
Yeah, that's also interesting.
That's my question. How many times have you played it?
Like from beginning to end? Like
yes.
Oh, I don't know. Probably like 20 or 30.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair. So you found a lot of the different endings then.
Yeah, I mean, I found a lot of different endings, and then I went online and made sure I found most of the endings.
Okay, cool.
The only one I didn't do specifically was like the artsy ending or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Mini game for 4 hours, and I was like,
oh yeah.
Shit. I'm like, I do not care. There's nothing here I could possibly care about. So I didn't
That's
do
fair.
That one. But all the other ones, pretty much I did. And there's a lot of... So it's kind of interesting because it does kind of show you somewhat. Like you can kind of figure out what the line is between the original content and the new content.
That's good because I haven't played the new one. I really want to.
Well, there's a door that says new content too.
There is. It's really
nice.
tongue in cheek.
I love it.
And it plays on. Actually, I was gonna send you a picture because I took a screenshot from like my Switch, and it's like Stanley Parable 2, and I'd be like, look what I played this week, Brandon. But you'll figure it out if you ever play it with it.
I will. I'll definitely be playing this one.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's very self-referential, and it makes a lot of like jokes about things that it had joked about, and then there's this like thing that goes through, and if you have it, it changes all the endings.
Okay.
From the original, and then they get really wacky in ways you wouldn't expect.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very. I don't want to spoil anything.
No, that's understandable. I just want to know, did you like it?
Oh yeah, I liked it a lot.
Nice.
So I thought it was really good. It was really tongue in cheek. I ended up finding myself like listening to the narrator talk for a lot of things I probably could have skipped through. But it also makes me wonder what else is hidden in this game.
Yeah, because
there's more stuff hidden.
In the original game, there was so much shit hidden that it's like I can't wait to see what's hidden in this one. I'm like very excited to play this game.
People found a lot of things, and like some of them were like some of the new endings are like, hey, this was a glitch from the original game that we turned into an actual ending now. Surprise.
Very nice. I like that.
Yeah. So that was some pretty neat stuff. They make fun of what is it? Like what's the word that they use?
Ludonarrative dissonance? Is that it?
No.
Okay.
It's pressurized gas reviews.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you can figure out what that means if you think about it.
Yeah, it's Steam reviews then. Yeah.
Gas reviews.
And so the narrator has some self inflection on some of those.
That narrator's just so damn good.
He's very good.
And they had him come back and re-record more lines for this, probably obviously, because they added a lot more. I would say, at least from what I can tell, they added like double the content at least.
That's good. I like to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm very happy about that.
Game. I know one of the endings specifically was switched in this one.
Okay.
From the original because of a rights issue.
Ah, okay.
And it was the ending that lets you experience different things from
different games, like the Minecraft ending.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
No, there's literally a Minecraft ending in the first game.
I played that game so many years ago.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Have you gone back and got your achievement? It's been 10 years. You could log into the game and boot it up and get the achievement for not playing the game for 10 years.
I gotta check.
That achievement is in the Switch version.
I know. It's also in it's in the new version for all the consoles. So many people were complaining, like, why can't I can't 100% this game because I have to wait 10 years to 100% this game.
The funny thing is, so as I was playing through it, it made me think of another game quite a bit. I don't know why exactly. I mean, I do kind of. They're both walking simulators. But that is one of the games that had replaced one of the games in the game's ending.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but it was a walking simulator you did not like. So I don't know if you, but they're kind of funny about it though. Yeah, but the game's great. I like it a lot. It's very fun. It's very fancy.
This is the second indie title that I have recommended you that you've been like, this is great. I like this.
Yeah, but take me. Since the beginning of the podcast.
Well, you just gotta wait until the actual games come out for a console that you own.
I've owned plenty of things I could have played Stanley Parable on before.
It was only on PC for the longest time.
Yeah, but we're talking about did it just come out on everything for the first time this week?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just on PC.
You're saying I could not have played it on anything else?
Correct.
Yep.
This is the first console release ever. This week. This was one of my game of the years for 2013. Keep that in mind.
I could have played it on that.
Oh, I guess you're right. I forgot it was released on Mac. I apologize because I don't count that as a platform. I count that as a I count Mac
elitist.
I count it as a business investment, not a platform. No, Mac's fine. Their operating system's actually really good, and they have really good editing software. That's the two things I will take away. I will give Mac any day of the week. They have really good editing software, and like it's really good for music, and it's really good if you just need to do business thingies. I'm trying to convince Mike that I don't hate it and I'm not an elitist, because if I was an elitist, I wouldn't be like, yeah, but I like Linux. Wait, hold on. If I only told you I like Linux, then I would be an elitist.
Yeah, I think it's almost worse, actually.
No, because Linux can play games, and I don't have to pay $30,000 to have a system that fucking has an i5 in it.
Yeah, but you have to jump through so many fucking hoops to do it. That's where it turns it. Once you start to think it through,
you don't have to jump through any hoops for Linux. You literally just put a flash drive inside your All right, listen. Now you
sound like the elitist.
Exactly.
No. I would say maybe even 6 years ago, yes, there were a billion hoops to do anything in Linux, but like lately with stuff like Arch Linux and other just different distros of Linux, you can literally just plug a flash drive in, install it in 5 minutes, be done with it, and it just looks like a Windows computer, except it runs better.
Now that we're in the Brandon fails timeline, Linux is such a better choice.
That's every timeline, Mike.
What about the Bill Gates becomes a super bot timeline?
That's every timeline, Mike.
Steve Apple becomes a bot.
That's a constant.
Mm-hmm.
Not a variable.
Steve Appleson?
Steve Appleson. Steve Jobs.
And he died of ligma.
Anyways, you ready to talk about your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I played what's the title of this? Turbo Golf Racing. That's what this is. You guys like Rocket League?
Yeah.
You like golf?
Yeah.
All right, well, just put them together, and then it's a really good game that I spent like 4 hours on play testing. I recorded the entire stream because there was no NDA or anything. In fact, they said, no, please play it. Please give us free publicity. So me and GP played it for like 4 hours, and it was so much fucking fun. So the way this game works essentially is it has 8 players. You and whoever you queue up with, plus the rest are randoms that fill in the other spots. So like other people online, that sort of deal. Then what you do is you get placed into 3 different courses, like golf courses. So it could be anywhere between like a par 3 and a par fucking 15 because of how long these courses are sometimes. And the object is to get your ball in the hole before everyone else in any means necessary. So like blow them up with rockets. You can like, run people off the road, that sort of deal. Or you could just be really, really fast and like know the routes and how to get your ball where it needs to go. But whenever you like hit the ball, you have to like angle it up or down with the shield that's on the front of your car, which is essentially the way you hit your ball in this game. And when you like press the thumbstick down, it's angled downwards, and you press it up, then it's angled upwards. So like if you need the ball to go like further, then you want to angle it upwards. So you're gonna have to like be driving into the ball as you're like angling the thumbstick, upwards. And then whenever you're about to hit the ball, you'll see like a line, kind of like you would see in like Mario Golf or whatever, and it'll like show the like way that your ball will end up going when you hit it. And it's really fun, like a lot of fun. And some people are completely insane at this game already. So, yeah, look out for that game whenever it releases on whatever it releases on, because it was a shit ton of fun. So there you go. Good game. I won an entire course 4 times, I think, in my 4 hours of play. I had to learn how to play the game for quite a while first. So there was that. I don't know if this is going to be free to play. They did have like a shop, but the shop was similar to something like what's the game? Fall Guys? Is that it? that the one that's Takeshi's Castle, when you get like crowns when you win? Okay, yeah. All right, so that game, the shop that they had is similar to that. So just from playing the game, you get like trophies if you win, and then you take those trophies and you can use them to buy cosmetics and other things for your car, essentially.
Okay.
And like I said, if they have another beta and you want to play, I highly recommend it, because I really do see this taking off if like they handle it well. Like, they just have to handle this well, and this will be a really good game. Because what they have here already, well, first of all, they have more courses than Halo did about 3 hours ago. So there's that. And that's in a beta, so that's good. I guess I probably should have wrote that in chat, because Nick, they finally updated Halo Infinite.
Hell yeah.
They added more courses or maps. It only took them fucking 7 months.
I mean, better late than never.
Is it? They're like player base is completely fucking dead. They should have waited until they could have released it with more maps. And it's their own fault for fucking it up, essentially. But I hope that with the release of... I'm getting sidetracked. All you need to know is that Turbo Golf Racing is a lot of fun, and you should definitely play it when it releases on whatever the hell it releases on. And I also play another game. I played Samurai Bringer. I'm going to share this one with you guys in the chat. So I'm going to show this to you, Nick, okay? And this also goes to Mike as well. It's in general now. All right, Samurai Bringer is a very cheap little indie title that kind of looks like a old PlayStation 3 game. You guys remember a game called 3D Dot Heroes?
This does not look like 3D.
Yeah, I like 3D Dot Game Heroes.
It's kind of got the feel of it. Mike, shut up. It does have the same kind of voxel feel to it. Look at the actual like gameplay when you can like see it. Go through the pictures, all right?
I'm watching the video.
Go through the pictures, okay? Anyway, so essentially this game is a roguelike of Dynasty Warriors. And it's really weird.
Then why do they slide boxes around?
What?
I don't know. That's what's happening in the video right now.
Oh, it's one of the puzzles. Around. So, like, you can go to shrines, because whenever you...
more like Dynasty Warriors now.
Okay. When you go to, like, shrines, you can do, like, sliding puzzles and that sort of deal. They're just, like, sliding boxes around or, like, punching the box so it ends up landing on the red side on the red button and that sort of thing. Very simple puzzles that aren't really that difficult. And when you do them, you get like seeds, and the seeds allow you to regain your power. Because this is a similar situation to like you start playing the game and you have like all your powers. You are like god tier, but then you get your ass absolutely beaten by an Eldritch god, and then you start over from square one as you would in like Castlevania and those sort of games. And the roguelike aspect of it is you have to go and level yourself back up and get your powers back. But the reason why it's a roguelite sort of deal is as you're playing this, you upgrade your health and your mana. Those are permanent, even between deaths. So it actually doesn't feel like you lose a lot, but you do at the same time, because you lose your costumes, and your costumes and armor that you get are what allow you to use different weapons. But essentially, if you scour the world while playing the like roguelike, like one of the runs or whatever, you can get the entirety of the costume. And if you get the entirety of the costume, that unlocks the ability for you to play as that character from the get-go. Like, you get to select that as your character. So a lot of exploration and a lot of things can lead to you making progress. So like you could have like a really shit run, but you found a bunch of costume pieces, so you've now unlocked that character as a starting character that you can play as at the start of your next run. So you don't really feel like you aren't making progress at any point in time in this game. And that's really good, because this is the kind of roguelite that I feel like if you did feel that way, you would want to quit this game very quickly, because it can be really hard if you just get like bad rolls, similar to something like Binding of Isaac. But because of the fact that you can bring those costumes in from your last gameplay and those don't go away, and you get to just select that whole character if you've completed that outfit at the start of your next one, then like, yeah, you feel like you're always progressing and you always have made some dent in the game while you're playing it. And it's just a lot of fun. You go onto the battlefield, you fight like little bosses and everything, and that's where you get the item abilities and the weapons and that sort of thing. And that's what allows you to progress further. And yeah, it's just really, really good. I really don't have much else to say other than if you like things like Dynasty Warriors, where you can just beat up hordes of enemies. If you like things like the most recent Vampire Survivor game that came out that I mentioned earlier this year, if you ever looked into that, or if you've watched a billion Twitch streamers now stream it because somehow I mentioned it and then everyone and their fucking grandma started streaming it, oddly enough. Yeah, it's definitely my fault. Anyway, if you like those kind of games, basically the see big numbers on screen, everything die kind of games, then this is like super up your alley. And it's only $10. You can get like 10 to 20 hours of gameplay out of this for $10, and that's a fucking steal, in my opinion. And it's really good gameplay too. So, yeah. The combat system is really interesting because as you defeat enemies, they drop like scrolls. Those scrolls are permanent whenever you get them. And what you can do then is you can literally go into your options for your weapons. And you can put on, like, I want the A button to do a slice attack, but I want it to do a slice attack at 4. And since I've leveled my character up to have a barrage set of, like, 15, I can do 15 different attacks on the A button whenever I press it for the first time. So, like, as you've, like, leveled your character up more, essentially you could be like, okay, so my A button is going to be gun. But also, gun is going to have 4 lightnings. And also, 4 lightnings is going to have an ability that splits that off into 3 other lightnings. But also, I don't want to be able to be knocked back, so I want that on there. And you can just stack abilities and make insane builds, where essentially, you press a button and you melt the screen and your graphics card in one go. And it's really cool. It's super satisfying to like create these really weird builds. Like I had one the other night where essentially I hit the Y button and I could continue hitting the Y button forever, and it fired out bullets from my gun while also slashing my sword, and those bullets were made of wind, so they knocked back enemies instantly and stunned them, making them spin around in circles, and they also had the ability to split off into more bullets and then come back and home in on them all at the same time. And when you can build character sheets like that, it's so fucking satisfying. So, yeah, this is like a DIY Dynasty Warriors kind of game. And it's just really, really fun. I highly recommend checking this out if you want a new roguelite that's just a lot of fun. It's on Switch. This also launched on Switch. So if you want to melt your Switch's processor, because God knows it's not going to be able to handle this shit, just check it out on there. But if you have like a decent computer, you should also play it on PC, because you got all the extras and whatnot. But yeah, it's so much fun. I was not expecting to have as much fun with this. I got it 2 days ago, I think. And I didn't get to play it the first day, but I got to play it a lot last night. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to play a little bit more. You know, I got out of the tutorial area the first day, so, you know, now I can actually play the game, you know, that sort of deal. So yesterday...
72 hours later.
I wish it was 72 hours later, because there's a lot of things, like, as you kill enemies and do that sort of thing, you could talk to this statue, and the statue then gives you permanent abilities that upgrade your character forever. No, I've only put, like, 8 hours into it, though, so it's still a bit for a single day, but yeah, not as much as I normally would, but I also had like a lot of other shit and whatnot. So anyway, this game's awesome. Play it. Definitely play it. And I guess the only other thing that I'll mention is I played WWE 2K22, and as much as I loved that game before, I now hate it because they pushed out an update that literally fucking corrupted my save file and also made it so it's really difficult not to play the game without it crashing. So I'm very upset about that.
Nice.
Yeah, you gotta check those fucking updates. You're like, let them figure it out, which is kind of what I feel like 2K did.
Yeah. Oopsies.
Moving on. Yeah, exactly.
Is what it is.
Is what it is. I'm done. That's it.
Okay. Nick, you got anything?
Nope. I really didn't play nothing this week. Maybe next week. Mayhaps I'll have something to talk about then.
Yeah. Will you?
Maybe.
Yeah. You guys ready to move on to news then?
Yes.
All right. Netflix has revealed a new Sonic TV show.
Oh, that's what they did.
I saw that.
I think they didn't show very much of it though. It was like what, 10 seconds of Sonic maybe?
Yeah, it's just like Sonic running and being like, "Hey, I'm Sonic," and then he just left. It's like, okay, well, all right.
And I don't even remember what the synopsis was, but it was so dumb. I was like, this just irritates me because it's something about like, it's not just about saving the world, but it's about internal growth or something dumb.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't. I like whatever. I'm like, the graphics look fine. It looks like Sonic. It's not horrendous. But it's also on Netflix, so hopefully you get more than 24 episodes. So
it's an animated series, so it probably will.
Except Netflix got rid of most of their animation studio stuff.
They did,
but it was probably to make this Sonic show.
It was probably because they
for this. We might as well put it out.
They misplaced where they're losing all their money. It wasn't animation studios.
It also wasn't sharing passwords.
Nope.
It might have something to do with releasing 12 episodes from a show, telling us the next season will be out in a few months, and then not giving us another fucking update for 6 more fucking months. That might have something to do with it. Or the fact that they constantly just greenlight anything with a fucking pulse and then kill it next week.
Yeah, I think that's most of it right there. There's lots of reasons. I think Netflix definitely suffered from that. Hey, we got big too fast and didn't really appreciate
Netflix is Blockbuster.
What they got. Yeah, exactly. They
really right now. They literally are.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they are that at this point. It's just, it's funny because like, you ever like, cause me and my girlfriend would do this from time to time. Like if it's like a Friday, we'll be like, hey, what's new on Netflix? And like most of the time it's like nothing good.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah,
dude, there's
never anything good.
So I'm just mad at Netflix's anime division. They are literally ruining the fucking... Like, they have some great shows, like fantastic shows, but then they just ruin them by either releasing them in really weird batches or releasing them all at once and then being like, all right, that's it. Get fucked. We didn't have enough money because we wanted to make them all very quickly and then release them all at once. And it's like, dude, what the fuck is your... If you didn't have enough money, why didn't you just wait?
That's also true.
Yeah.
Also, you're Netflix. I'm sure you have enough money. Shut up.
They definitely do. But at some point, too, it's like, you can't have, like, growth like that for so long and expect it to be like that's always going to be the growth forever and always. Like eventually you're going to run out of people to sell to.
Well, not only that, but like so many people are leaving because they joined during the pandemic, and now, you know, there you go.
We had a lot more people before the pandemic. I mean, I know the numbers have gone up during the pandemic, but I'm just saying, like, I think they're losing even more than just, you know, what they had accumulated. I think a lot of it is too, like, they're just like, oh, we need all this exclusive content to stay competitive. It's like, you look at something like, I don't know, you compare it to something like Apple TV plays right now, where like Apple TV, they don't have like a ton of stuff, but they have enough new like regular shows that are interesting that it seems to be like, I find more interesting stuff on Apple TV every week than I do on Netflix. Like this year even. Like period.
I feel like so I haven't watched Apple TV, but I feel like from the way you describe it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt, is that Apple TV is like Netflix when they first started up. They're just like, let's just do a bunch of weird shit and see what sticks. And now Netflix is playing everything super safe, and they're being like, hey, let's just greenlight like 20 more reality television shows that no one fucking watches.
Yeah.
And then wonder why we're losing money.
So I think it's even a little bit different than that. Like I don't even think it's like, because Netflix, that was their thing at first, like, hey, let's greenlight a bunch of weird shit. But I think Apple's even like, no, let's only greenlight good shit. Like
good weird shit.
Yeah, like if this is not like past the sniff test, like right away, like we're not fucking doing
like
it.
Netflix is they're definitely still greenlighting weird shit, but like it's just not good weird shit. Like they just greenlit a show that's basically like, you know, the meme of people making super realistic cakes.
Yeah,
it's a TV show now.
That. So dumb.
And I'm like, how?
Granted, they do a really good job. Like they do make.
I mean, I'm sure, but like at a certain point, you got to be like, well, where do we, where we prioritize our money?
Nick, have you seen
the meme cake show?
Have you seen Dorohedoro yet?
Dorohedoro?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so that's a show on Netflix. It's the only place you can watch it. It's an anime. It is like so 90s over the top violent, but also so early 2000s fucking weird that makes no sense whatsoever, that it's like perfect. It's so fucking good. And it's just things like that. It's such a shame that Netflix are the ones that are getting them.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were kind of like pissed off too because there was some shows that were in the works that just got canceled too without even being like.
Well, okay, so all right, this is how bad it is, and I from like some of my research, right? So you guys both know I fucking love JoJo, and season 6 or part 6 was released on Netflix. 12 episodes of it. The literal voice actors for the English version of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure have stated they've recorded like 34 more episodes, and most of them are finished with all the production, and they don't know where the fuck they are or why Netflix hasn't released any of them.
Very good.
And when they try to contact Netflix, they're just like, it'll be out, and that's it. That's their response. So they're just like, we're recording more episodes for a show, and you guys have only seen 12 of them so far. Like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they'll come out if Netflix already paid for them.
Well, no, that's not the problem. It's not a fact of like Netflix already paid for them. It's like a fact of the literal people that like did the voice talent for the show are like, this many is already finished, and Netflix hasn't even communicated with people when we can expect more episodes to come out at all, and they haven't even communicated with the people that did the voice acting why none have released yet. When on the flip side, there are other shows that are like have released 3 seasons since this show released 12 episodes, and it just doesn't make any sense why that is happening.
Well, Netflix doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah,
they
exactly.
Take seasons. They take full seasons of shows and they split it into 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just nonsense. And they're just, like I said, you know, I honestly kind of think at this point, if they did more, like I said, what Apple TV is doing, and they just kind of like, hey, let's just stick with like stronger quality shows that we know we can keep on for like a couple seasons, and just really like just only approve like good shit. Because as Netflix, they're so desperate for their own content, they just greenlit everything.
Well, what
like, we could have Princess Christmas 3. That's a great idea.
Well, what I'm saying, for instance, is like one of the like biggest series that they have in the animation area and like the anime area, literally is having no communication with the people that originally worked on it, and they don't understand what's going on with the show. Like, that's how muddled the like process of working with Netflix is at this point. It doesn't make any sense. Like, this show is literally too big to fail. Like, it is too big to fail. Like, it can't, because it is blown up so massively. Yet Netflix is still failing at this show.
Yeah. Well, I think what I was reaching at more was like, you know,
it's just impressive how incompetent they are. That's my point.
No, I know. It's like, but I just think they just don't know what they're doing. Like at this point, you know?
They don't.
With stuff like that, like I said, you know, they should be like just filtering the shows that they purchase more, like outright. And honestly, I think they get more bang for their buck from like licensing stuff. Like, I feel like things like, because they have like the rights to like the new Pokemon anime, like that's Netflix, like that's.
Well, they have the rights to the new JoJo, like I just said.
Yeah,
they literally have the rights to it.
Yep.
And things like that are a big deal, but it's just like, and you know, obviously
and they're fumbling those big deals.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. That's it.
And I guess so. Some people in furry suits can go and chat at a diner about how much they don't give a shit about each other. that's that one fucking show Netflix greenlit I remember, and then they gave it like fucking 4 seasons, like instantly. Like, hey, here you go. It's like, what?
Like, the show nailed it, which was kind of funny. I did like that show. Like, they just started filming a new season of it, and then the crew just tried to unionize, and they just canceled the whole show. Like, all right, goodbye. It's like,
never mind.
Yeah, never. We don't want you anymore. Thank you. Like, it's like, guys, come on. Like, I don't know. That's it. Just tons of missteps. But I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about Netflix. We all know they suck. I don't know.
Yeah, Netflix sucks too.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
But the other big news this week is Square Enix just sold off a bunch of their shit.
Oh my god, Square Enix.
So I've never even heard of Embracer Studios before, but apparently for $300 million, they got Eidos, Crystal Dynamics, and Square Enix Montreal, and their IPs.
50 plus IPs.
So, for those of you who don't remember, Embracer was the company that purchased all of THQ stuff and all their properties.
I didn't even remember THQ was bought.
Many moons ago.
Mm-hmm.
I thought THQ was the
Nordic?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and then this happened.
Oh, okay.
So let me just real quick. So
isn't like Embracer like an in-betweener, essentially?
So Nordic was Embracer, or other way around. So Nordic renamed themselves as Embracer Group.
Okay.
I thought Nordic renamed themselves as THQ. Then what did
it was it was Nordic Games, THQ Nordic, and now presently I believe it's just it's still called THQ Nordic. And then the overall parent company is Embracer, and they own THQ Nordic, Saber Interactive, Koch Media, Gearbox Entertainment, Deca Games, Easy Brain, Dark Horse Media, Coffee Stain Holding, Asmodee, and Amplifier Games, as well as now Eidos, Crystal Dynamics, basically any sort of Western studio that Square Enix had, and all of their IPs except for 3 games.
What 3 did they keep?
Life is Strange,
Random.
The Outriders, that one that just came out, and then I think they also kept Forspoken.
Okay.
I believe that's the 3, but everything else is now no longer with them.
I kind of feel like that's a pretty cheap buy for those things, to be honest.
It absolutely is.
It is, yeah.
It's like $6 million per IP, essentially, and to put that into like perspective, like Microsoft bought a single group for like $1 billion, and Sony bought a single like place for like $200 million. So $6 million is like a drop in the bucket, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of really good IPs they sold off.
Yeah, like Tomb Raider's in there.
Tomb Raider is in there.
Deus
Thief
Ex.
is in there. Deus Ex is in there. It's there's so much shit in there, essentially.
Yeah.
And they did it so they could take that money and open up themselves an NFT and crypto, as well as cloud division. That's what all the sales were for. And literally everyone was like, oh, dude, look, Square Enix is being fucking stupid. It must be a day of the week that ends in Y.
Honestly...
There's a sub-rumor on this. I don't know if you guys saw this. Mm-mm. So one of the rumors that was floating around prior to this was that Square Enix was trying to sell off some of their studios so that they could be a more desirable acquisition.
Yeah, but now they like quite literally said they just did the sale so they could open up an NFT division.
They did, which might make them more... Again, it still might make them... Well, I mean, there's still companies who are...
There's still really fucking stupid people out there. Yeah, you're right.
No, you're not. What I'm saying is like, there's still companies who are still, like, into that whole thing. So, I mean, like...
They're getting out of that whole thing really quickly when their actual demographic just tells them to go fuck yourself. Ubisoft is still in it. Stupid.
Yeah, like, but that doesn't mean other people can't be stupid.
Yeah, but... Ubisoft is so dumb that they're stuck in their own ways, but like Square Enix has already filed for bankruptcy once, and they'll do it again. I'll fucking do it again, says Square Enix.
I mean, like, I feel like the smart move would have been like, hey, our Western studios suck because we suck. Let's sell them to somebody who gives a shit, right? And then we'll dump all this money to the games that make us money.
I feel like that's like giving them too much credit. I think they're too
incompetent. No, yeah, you're right.
I think what they did,
should have done.
I think what they actually did was they were like, we got to dump everything into crypto. We got to go to the equivalent of GameStop for selling IPs, and we got to sell our IPs for pennies on the dollar in trade-in credit value.
Yeah,
and that's essentially what they did. They're like, oh, fuck, they're giving us a little bit extra, and we're able to get it in cash? Hell yeah, thanks, GameStop. Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying, like, that would have been the smart thing to do. It's not what they're gonna do, but, you know.
Well, yeah, because they're stupid. That would be smart. You can't have that with Square Enix.
I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely like when I saw it, I was like, "Is this real?" And then turns out it was. I was like, "That's incredibly stupid," because like they just announced a new Tomb Raider game too.
Yeah, they did.
And I'm really surprised that like I think what was more shocking about the fact it wasn't the fact that it was Embracer bought them, but like I figured if anything like Crystal Dynamics would have gone to Epic.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Embracer own a division of Gearbox as well? Which
Embracer owns Gearbox.
Okay, all right. They're probably already. You know what? Embracer's the smart one here because they probably already have deals with Epic. So they're like, we're gonna sell us that, and then we're gonna sell it for so much more money. We're just gonna flip it and sell it for $55.99 instead. Damn, Embracer really is GameStop out here.
Yeah,
probably.
But like, yeah, it's definitely interesting.
But the rumor that I had saw was apparently Sony was courting Square Enix for a purchase, and I could see Sony being like, "Hey, we'll buy you, but we don't want the rest of this shit."
See, I don't know how much I believe that because with the purchase of Square Enix with all of those properties, you get a lot of old school PlayStation properties. You get Siphon Filter, you get Tomb Raider, which is Tomb Raider is a big. Well, I mean, you would have. Mm-hmm. You get Gex.
Dude, Gex is the shit, man.
But Gex is the shit. I could also see Sony not caring about Tomb Raider because I feel like that overlaps so much with Uncharted that I couldn't see them like holding both of them.
Yeah, but at this point, like again, let's talk about here's the smart thing. The smart thing would have been like, hey, let's let Uncharted kind of chill for a bit, and we can do Tomb Raider, like a really good Tomb Raider, because like. The Tomb Raiders that came out, like I want to say about 2/3 of them were good.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.5. Let's say 1.5.
Wait. You mean like the new ones?
The new ones, yes.
Oh hell no! Rise of the Tomb Raider and the original were fucking excellent.
The original Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider was great. The second one kind of got a little weird, but whatever. And then the third one,
Rise of the Tomb Raider was the second one.
I thought Rise of the Tomb Raider was the first one.
No, first one was just Tomb Raider 2016.
Well then, Tomb Raider 2016 was great.
Rise
of the Tomb Raider was good awesome. Until the end because it gets weird. And then
wait. Yeah, it gets weird, but that's literally what happens in Uncharted. You're like, we're going.
Yeah, but I also
and then
you're right. That also gets weird.
Oh shit, where are these demons come from? What are they
both
doing
get weird.
here? Isn't that wacky?
Yeah. Uncharted 2 is great until the end.
Yeah,
when you're fighting fucking Yetis. Shit.
Yeah. Yes. And then the third Tomb Raider, I couldn't really even stomach because it just didn't feel. Yeah, it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like but also I don't know how much of that was Crystal Dynamics. I don't know how much of that was Square Enix. I know Square Enix has already been like fucking over them since the beginning because they said that the first one wasn't a success when it was.
It was.
So that's the thing. Like,
well, they measure success in like billions
sales
because they're fucking stupid.
Even though it made money, it wasn't a success. But whatever. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what this does for those studios because I feel like there's a lot of dormant and active IP that aren't getting the best treatment. But at the same time, like I don't know really much about Embracer too much. I don't know what we can prove with their track record. I don't know what they have their hands in with stuff. So I mean, like, I don't know if
games they've made.
Have they even like? Well, let me see THQ Nordic, right?
Yeah.
Because that would have been like the most recently released things.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, games. There we go. That's subsidiaries. There we go. Is this in release order? Fucking gee. Okay. Are we getting it? Thank you. I don't know when they were acquired, so I'm just gonna go from like 22 and back. If that's fine with you.
Wait, who was acquired?
This is for THQ Nordic. What they've made.
Oh, when they were acquired?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is like the THQ games that have come out since. They were acquired. So like they did Biomutant, which was ass cheeks. They did port Darksiders 3 to Switch. They did SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, the Destroy All Humans stuff that came back, Kingdoms of Alamore Re-Reckoning.
Where are you finding this at?
I'm on Wikipedia.
That's
it seems like in the last couple years or so, since they're
flipping things.
They're flipping a lot of things, which I mean, like, is smart. I'm not gonna say it's not smart. There's a lot of older games that are coming back out because you gotta remember too. Some of the games that they're flipping came out towards the end of THQ's time in existence.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe it was like, hey, let's finish up what they started or whatever. But I mean, there's another SpongeBob game coming out, the Cosmic Shake. If that's your thing. I know people like the SpongeBob game, so I'm not going to talk shit about it.
Okay, so you want to know something's actually crazy? If these are the people that are doing the thing, they might be a better pick than the original companies. And the reason why, my friend recently told me he was playing the Kingdoms of Amalur game, right?
Re-Reckoning, yes.
Yeah. And I was like, why are you playing that? He's like, because it got a new DLC. I was like, what? Huh? And he's like, yeah. Illegal. He's like, yeah, apparently the new people that own it released a DLC. And he's like, I don't know. They released it like fucking 10 years after the original game ended. And they released it with the remaster of the game. I looked into what the DLC was. And this DLC is fucking awesome, actually. Okay. Do you know what these people did?
No.
They put all the content that EA cut out of the game back into the game.
Wow.
The stuff that was left on the cutting room floor was put back into the remaster as a DLC. I don't know if it's for free. I have to double check. I'm pretty sure no, because it's so substantial.
Okay.
Because like they had to basically recreate a game that was removed before the original one launched. So it looks like it's a $20 DLC, but it looks like it added like 4 to 6 hours of content.
Okay.
That's pretty decent.
Raised the level cap, added new missions, added new weapons, and like a whole bunch of basically the stuff that people like would be like, here is what, like some kind of YouTuber that's like, oh, this is the content that was cut from the game. The people that released this game were like, hold on a fucking second.
We got it. Right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a new DLC after 10 years. And apparently it concludes a story that was left as a cliffhanger in the original.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely... You don't hear a lot of that. So, like, it's a big deal, I feel. So...
Yeah, I think that is pretty nice that they went back through and took the time to do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, is it good? I don't know. But it's there. That's a point,
Well, from what I never played the original game, but I always heard it was actually pretty decent.
Well, I meant the cut content they added.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like the core game on its own. Like I always heard that.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know anybody who's played the remasters of Destroy All Humans.
I've heard nothing but good things about this.
But my friend who did play the rehydrated version of the SpongeBob game said it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rehydrated was last month in PlayStation Plus also. So, I mean, if you liked that, you could play that if you had PlayStation Plus.
So, yeah, so I mean, like, I don't know. It seems like it's at least not a bad move, which is great.
Yeah, maybe someone can actually give a shit about these
IPs.
Games now. Yeah, and these IPs. Because Square Enix sure as fuck didn't. Like,
no. Well, actually, I guess to double down on this, I don't know if this came out this past week or the week after, but did you guys see that article from, what's his name, the Sonic creator?
Yeah.
When he was talking about Balan Wonderworld?
Yeah.
And how, like, Square Enix was basically like, yo, they don't give a fuck about y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. So, like, that's very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it.
Like, I mean, I believe it too.
Quite literally.
And I feel like Square always thought of these Western developers as like their redheaded stepchild.
No. He said they don't give a fuck about the actual consumers.
Well, that's the thing.
The players.
The game, but that's the thing too. Is like,
general.
What's it? I keep forgetting. Is it the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog who made Balan Wonderworld?
Yeah, Naka something.
Yeah, Yuji Naka or whatever the fuck.
That might be it.
I don't know. Either way, like that wasn't a Western developer, and if anything,
that was a Japanese developer.
That's one of the most respected Japanese developers because, whether you're Mike or not, Sonic games are very, very well known and respected and played and enjoyed.
And just Japanese developers in general in Japan are very well known and respected.
So, but like Sonic the Hedgehog, I feel like is one of the Mount Rushmore titles of Japan. You know what I mean? Like it's Mario, it's Sonic, maybe Gex. I don't know, but
I don't think Gex is.
Nah. Fair enough. But like that's
a
my
Western
thing is like
game.
He's a Japanese developer, and even to him they were like, no.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like I would say base level without knowing a lot about Embracer and all of that shit.
Probably in better hands.
Probably in better hands. Even if it's just them for like the first couple of years flipping the older Tomb Raider games over to PS5 and Xbox or whatever the fuck they might do. I mean, who knows? They might even remake. They rebooted older THQ properties like Red Faction and all that. Like they brought that shit back. So there might be some older titles in the catalog that might come back. You don't know. Siphon Filter might get a collection. They might do a thing like they're doing with Destroy All Humans. You never know.
Maybe we can get some more Deus Ex like the originals out there.
Also do more Deus Ex because they have that now.
Yeah, if someone's got to fucking do it because Square Enix wasn't.
No. So I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
for sure.
Sure is.
But I thought that was pretty cheap, all things considered.
It's very cheap.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you figure the first Tomb Raider sold for at least 3.6 million copies just on the Xbox One, I think it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure even if that's like a little bit of a markup there, I mean, you're talking probably at least tens of millions of dollars of profit off just the first game alone.
Yeah.
And then, they have the whole library that they can pull off of just with that single IP. I mean, it just seems like it would take them nothing to get that money back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Listen, I kind of just think that Square's just trying to focus down on what their core stuff is, which I mean, sadly, is just Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, they're focusing on Outriders. I don't know about.
I don't think they're focusing. I just think that it's probably just so new. They're just like, we're just not gonna get rid of this yet.
Yeah.
Well, they just put out new content for Outriders.
Yeah, and same thing with Life is Strange. Like that thing that's just more of a.
Yeah, that's right.
It's still new enough that we're just not gonna get rid of it yet. What if?
Well, Life is Strange is one of their more popular Western games.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how after the second one and after the new one, but whatever.
Yeah.
Got to have your Oscar bait in video games, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see what comes of this. Like I said, I mean, I think for I mean, who knows? I'm guessing it's off the table if it has come out. Like if it was even a possibility at one point of Sony like acquiring Square Enix, but at least in terms of like what they're looking at too. I think the other part of it is, I feel like Sony themselves would probably be more likely to get a Japanese, like just core Square Enix is a big score for them.
Yeah.
So in terms of like a Japanese kind of thing, which I mean they're not hitting on any front right now. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. I just can't see them being like, yeah, we want an NFT studio.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly they're gonna try to rob people of money legally, question mark.
Hey guys, want this cloud NFT for $300 million?
No.
Elon Musk will be on that. I'll be like, oh yeah, I've always wanted a cloud
NFT. I don't think he would.
Like
but you know what? It might be good if he was on that, because everything he touched dies.
It's true.
So
Twitter's days are numbered.
It's true. I actually would be very happy if he were to touch NFTs and then it just fucking died. I'd be very happy.
The end of NFT.
Oh my god, that would be the best day ever.
Anyways, what else you guys want to talk about?
I don't know.
Okay. You ready to wrap up?
Yeah.
I've got nothing else.
Okay. Yeah, same. I looked at PlayStation Plus's monthlies and then was like, nah, I'm good. These are garbage.
I mean, they could be okay. I'm just making words up.
Have you looked at them?
No.
They're not. Their biggest game is FIFA. which was just added to EA Plays, which you can get for $5. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we got. All right, I'll just tell you this. We got Curse of the Dead Gods, which is apparently actually pretty good. We got FIFA 22, and we have Tribes of Midgard. That's the PlayStation Plus games for the month. Mm-hmm. So, a Gearbox game, an indie title, and fucking a roster update.
A roster is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone likes rosters.
I think you meant to say roosters.
They like roosters too. What if it's rooster rosters?
Rooster rosters.
All
right, that's it for me. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to us tonight. Thank you for your advice on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also reach out to us if you want to talk. We're on Facebook, Twitter. You can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Oh, there's our website too, game-crunch.com. Find us there. Brandon.
I got nothing. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right. Nick?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, then with that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online. I'm Clash of Penguin on Twitter or your favorite gaming console. Until next week, game on.
But not literally.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Oh. Please cut that out. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I have too much to edit already in this segment, Brandon.
You have to get rid of that.
You have
to. I'll just put it. You know what? I'll save that for Game of the Year. That could be your Game of the Year intro quote.
Oh God. My actual humor actually came into the podcast for a second there. When I'm not on the podcast. I know it's not. But I try to keep that shit in check most of the time.